Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com, and I want to make this quick video. We had a YouTube subscriber send us a document. They're being sued by Velocity, which is a debt buyer, and Velocity usually purchases uh, repo debt, and they purchase personal loans that are pretty nice in size. Not, they don't deal with the smaller credit card type debt. And so they're suing this individual. And when I looked at it, I was like, this, when you look at it for what it is, it's kind of tough because when you're just dealing with a personal loan, there's nothing like with credit cards where you can say, I want to get all of the charges and I want to, get a full accounting to equal the claim that you're trying to say that was charged by me. And those are just tactics that you could use to, to set up your defense, and they've worked very well against Midland and Portfolio, LVNV, because they don't have access to that information. So it could either, depending on what the judge that you're in front of, it can end up where they will just get it dismissed, or a nice settlement, so all parties can move forward. But it becomes more difficult when dealing with a personal loan, uh, because they're just straight out loaning the individual the money. And but when I review, we always, when we get the information from people, we just like to review it, and we review it with the mindset of, let's look for potential openings that an individual can have. And a lot of these are mainly where the original creditor hired a debt collector or lawyer to collect it for them, because lenders are not allowed to be in the debt collection business. So they'll hire a lawyer, but they'll maintain their rights. But with Velocity, Velocity actually purchases these debts, and they, start to sue people to go after them. Now, with this one here, West Bank was the original creditor, and I saw a problem when I was reading through the contract. So, if you're being sued, let me just tell you what you need to look for uh, in your contract, even if it's with the original creditor. Is that you want to look at the original contract? You want to make sure that that contract has your signature on it. They might say that it was signed digitally, a digital signature. You want to make sure that you get the digital document that shows the timestamps. It's not just something that says you signed. I'm going to show you something here real quick. Okay, so you see where it just says signed electronically. I covered up the individual's name, but it says signed electronically. So that's not good enough. There's going to be, when you sign electronically, there's going to be a timestamp, it's going to have IP addresses, it's going to have a whole bunch of things here to prove that it came, your location, everything. It's not just going to say signed electronically. So Velocity Investments purchased this debt, and they're coming after this individual for the money. And let me show you one other thing real quick. Okay, so look at this here, this notice right here. Any holder of this consumer contract is subject to all claims and defenses which the debtor could assert against the seller of goods or services obtained with the proceeds hereof. Recovery hereunder by the debtor shall not exceed the amount paid by the debtor hereunder. Now, this here is in a way like a trap to whoever buys this debt, because they're going to have to, uh, fight against the defense that the debtor is making against them. that they're going to have to make that argument against it. But here's the problem that I see is that if the debtor makes arguments about the loan itself, can Velocity Investments actually argue on those points if they are not a lender? Are they even qualified to even say, well, the loan was right, um, the percentage rates were right, everything was disclosed was right? Can they actually do that? Can they actually legally do that? That's going to be something that hopefully we can get more information on in the future. But I could tell you what I see as an opening with this is that in the state where this loan was made, Nebraska, there is a law, which every state has these laws, but this is it right here. There's a maximum that you can have for contracts. It says up to 16%, otherwise legal rate is 6%. And it says that there are exceptions. The exceptions are if they're lending to a uh, corporation and it is not legal under state law to have loans that are over that amount. So now let's go back to the truth in lending statement. So we have right here in the truth in lending statement, which is required when making loans, they have 22.46% as an annual percentage rate. They have a finance charge of $19,189.03. The original amount finance was 28.5. So if you figure this finance charge and you put it together with this, it's actually higher than 22.46%. But just based on what was figured, I mean, what the interest rate law is for Nebraska, we can see that it's over that percentage. So would you think would you think that if this was presented to Velocity as a defense, that you are actually that the lender, WebBank, actually charged a percentage rate that is not legal for the state for them to be able to be charged? And now you might be saying, well, WebBank, why would they do that? They're in, why would they make these types of loans? And don't they have lawyers and everyone that's making sure that they're following the law? Well, actually, they're in the money business and they don't really, they know that most people are just going to be going after the money at whatever percentage that they can get because they believe that if they get the money, they're going to be able to utilize that money for whatever their needs are. And so when you look at it for what it is, you got right here spelled out 22.46%. We have right here that the interest rate limits is up to 16%. And we have $19,189.03, which if you look at this is like almost what 70% of what the original loan is. So just if you just look at it without even doing mathematics and you're saying, okay, I'm borrowing 28,000, I'm paying an interest 19,000, over $19,000, that's more than 22.46%. And then if you look at this right here, there was a prepaid finance charge of $1,500 that was also tacked on top of there. This is the ways that they try to hide exactly what they're charging people, the interest rate that they're charging people. So the defense for this client would be to argue that they were charged an illegal interest rate. It was past the legal maximum rate of interest that should be able to be charged in the state of Nebraska, and that they want this case dismissed based on that. And WebBank has already said in their contract, whoever holds this contract, this promissory note, has to also are accept the defenses that are put in place by the debtor, who is the one who took out the loan. That they're not going to do any fighting or for them for the case. That they have to actually argue it. And is Velocity Investment qualified to argue the interest rates that were charged because they are not a lender? They have to get all of the information from the lender. But if the lender is saying that you are now responsible because you've purchased this debt, you take on the responsibility of everything, any defense that the debtor brings, you take on that. What is Velocity going to end up doing? I believe that they're going to end up asking for this case to be dismissed. So, and for us, we've had recent, if you look back at my videos, we had a recent uh, uh, victory over a payday loan company that was caught doing the same thing, and they were making loans all in Missouri, uh, suing people, but the same argument was made, and that was a debt collection company that was hired by the payday loan company, and we got that did the pro se defense, and that was uh, ended up being dismissed. So if you have debt collectors coming after you and they are suing you in court, we have a service. We would at least like to review it, and we would tell you if you have a chance. And obviously, this is not giving you legal advice. We cannot say that you're going to win or lose. All we're doing is giving you the information so you can uh, provide yourself a defense, which is your right, and then you can let it fall where it falls, your side or their side. But it is well worth it because this individual would is being sued for uh, over 40 something $1,000 in the suit, I believe. I apologize. Let me make a correction. They're suing the individual for the amount of the loan, but I think that that's a tactic that they're trying to use by only going after the individual for the amount of the loan, and they're not trying to go after the amount of the with the annual percentage rate. So uh, we're gonna have to see how this works out because this must they must have lost some uh, some lawsuits, and they're trying to come back at it where they're saying, hey, we're only going after the individual for the actual amount that they borrowed, not the interest that was accrued for the loan. But that may not work because by them breaking the rules with the annual percentage rate that was charged, it can make the whole contract voided. So, all right. So if you need help with something like this, again, we're not attorneys. We're not giving legal advice. We're just giving you the information, and you're able to provide yourself with a pro se defense, and it's well worth it because the service is a lot less than paying the amount. All right, I'm gonna end the video here. The links are below here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you post your questions and comments. And if you need help with your credit, please visit thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my two-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the website your3scores.com to check out that. And again, if you have debt collectors coming after you early before it gets to the lawsuit, grab my 3-pack of letters. Please make a donation when you get them. It can literally save you thousands of dollars. The links are below this video.